Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is my pumptini-sized mini recap of Vanderpump Rules. Season 10, Episode 7, Galaxy Gaslighting. I do not want to be doing two full recaps a week. It's a lot. And this week I have a massive headache. I've been getting a lot of headaches lately. I know I don't drink enough water, so I think I might be dehydrated. If you guys have any tips or tricks on how to get yourself to drink more water, please leave them in the comments below. That is the one thing that I struggle with. Anyway, so yeah, my intention every week is to keep the Vanderpump Rules recap brief. And then there's just I get carried away and there's so much stuff going on. So we'll see. Here it is. Here's the recap. We are picking up right where we left off. It was guys' night at the Sky Bar at the Mondrian, and Raquel and Charli showed up, and James panicked. He walks away, and Brock and Sandoval follow him. He's pissed that his ex-fiance showed up, understandably so. This guy wants a guy's night. He tells his girlfriend. She already thinks that he's hanging out with Raquel too much. This is guy's night. Sorry, honey, you can't come. And then Raquel is there. I would be pissed too. In his confessional, he's like, this just creates insecurities and untrust. Something I don't want in my new relationship. Meanwhile, Raquel is talking to Schwartz with Scheana nearby, and she's like, this trip was supposed to be fun, but it was the opposite. And Katie's mom was there, and Schwartz goes, oh, Terry and I are like this. Yeah, oh man, I love her. And Raquel goes, yeah, she loves you too. Now James, Sandoval, and Brock return, and they're like, what's going on, Raquel? Okay, so being young and fun and single, living my life. These girls literally set me up to seem like I'm only chasing after guys that you're interested in. I think I should have done a future cringe alert for that one. I forgot. Lala said that I would never trust you around my man. You guys, this is Sandoval's reaction. Raquel. So I say, good thing you don't have a man. And Charli goes, you said something even better later. You said you f***ed my boyfriend and you were a mistress. If anyone wouldn't trust someone around their man, it would be you. And everyone's like, oh, no. Oh, I bet that felt good. Yeah. In Schwartz's confessional, he said, hearing that Raquel stood up to Lala, I'm kind of impressed. It's kind of hot. Meanwhile, James is texting Allie. He's like, oh my God, Raquel and Charli just showed up. Allie's response, so leave. Which he does. Meanwhile, in Lake Havasu, the girls are coming back from their fun night at the country bar, and Lala has met a guy there, and he's coming over. Katie is all for it. She wants to be Lala's sex coach. Remember, Katie is the only one who's drunk. Lala and Christina Kelly have not been drinking anything, so she's a little bit sloppy, but yeah, she's all for it. And Christina Kelly's like, no, you could just hang out with the guy. And Katie goes, and rightly so. Come on, Christina Kelly. Katie goes, he's not coming over here tonight to just talk to her. So anyway, Don arrives, and he's cute, and I also think it's kind of cute that he, stopped home to take a shower and change. Lala tells us in her confessional that she hasn't had an orgasm since 2016, and yes, that is directed at you, Rand. So Don and Lala sit down on the couch, and Christina and Katie also sit down on the couches, and there's about 2 seconds of very awkward small talk that turns into lots of sexual innuendo. And then Christina Kelly's like, yeah, I'm going to bed. And Katie gets up and she's like, yeah, I am too. And Lala and Don are like, yeah, you know what? We're going to hit the hay too. And someone said something about being nervous or whatever. Lala's a little nervous because it's been a while for her. And somebody said something about being nervous. And then Don says that he gets nervous before he gets service. Which, not a phrase I've heard before. Or really ever want to hear again. Anyway, the next thing we know, it's 9 o'clock the next morning, and Lala is very happy, let's just say. After discussing that a little bit and how much Raquel sucks a little bit, they decide that it's time to pack up and head back home. We check in with Allie and James, and they're heading into a little shop to have a tarot card reading. Allie tells us in her confessional that her goal is to one day become a full-time astrologer. I mean, God willing, through hard work and a lot of training. Is it a 4-year degree? Is it 6, maybe? But, at the end of that road, she may be able to realize the dream of becoming a full-time astrologer. Shoot for the stars, Allie. No pun intended. Okay, so the tarot reader, he mentioned something about their auras blending and being like a twin flame union. And James goes, I never heard twin flame until Allie and I got together. Now he keeps hearing it everywhere. And Allie says, well, Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly said it, so now it's kind of a popular phrase. Oh, and it works so well for them. No, are they back together? I don't know. I'm sorry. I know I'm too old for this, but I think they're perfect for each other. And I hated that they broke up, and I hope they're back together. And I have a small obsession with Machine Gun Kelly. Sue me. Side note, James throughout this entire reading keeps petting Allie and tucking her hair behind her ear and kissing her cheek. And he's it makes me nervous. I said this before. I think he's got a lot of addict behaviors, and I don't know. It's like compulsive behavior or something. I don't know what it is exactly, but I would go bananas if anybody touched me that much. So kudos to Allie for, being okay with it. Next, we are at Pump, where Lisa is meeting with the Toms. She would like to discuss, if they wanted to take her and Ken up on their offer. They are sticking with Greg. They have decided that they just love being with Ken and Lisa so much that they do not want to withdraw their initial investment. Of course not. Who would still want 5% of TomTom? Anyway, they are going to stick it out with Greg, but they are going to kind of put their foot down and be a little firmer with him because he wants everything. Well, they say that Greg wants everything perfect before he opens Schwartz and Sandy's. And, Lisa's like, oh, nothing's perfect. Just open the doors. You've got to open the doors. And yeah, of course, you got to start getting some money in. They seem to think that they're going to need $50,000 to open still. And Lisa's like, yikes. But they are going, whether things are perfect or not. Sandoval's like, we are opening on the 31st, come hell or high water, and they're going to tell Greg that's firm. As far as where they're going to get the money from, since they're not taking their investment out of TomTom, Tom Schwartz is selling his house, and he's hoping that, whatever his portion is that he gets out of that can, tide them over till they open. God, it would scare me so much to be so leveraged like that. I don't know. I don't think I could do it. All right, Scheana and Brock's wedding is in 2 weeks. We check in with them. I don't know. They've got to have some sort of a daily task chart that they follow, and one of the things is to kiss for a full minute. Then Scheana gets a call from one of her bridesmaids, Jamie, who says that she cannot get a room at the resort in Mexico where the wedding is taking place. She can't get a room because the resort is fully booked. And because it's all-inclusive, there's some kind of issue that she can't just be in someone else's room. I'm not sure, but she also can't be at another resort nearby because she's a bridesmaid and Scheana needs them all near her. So she hangs up. She's like, I'll figure this out. She goes, I don't know if I need to call the resort and go all angry bride on them, or if I need to make a call to TSA and get somebody on the no-fly list. Because Katie, has a room at the resort, but she's not going to the wedding. So Brock is like, why don't you talk to Katie in a nice way and like we'll offer to buy her out because it's a non-refundable deposit if she'll let us have the room. But Scheana's not even sure Katie will take her call. Now we check in with Katie, who is over at Ariana's house, and Ariana tells her that she's going to plan a pool party because she needs to have some fun. It's been a week since her dog Charlotte had to be put down. She's been a wreck and, she's just ready to have some fun. And Katie asks, who's coming? And Ariana said, you, Schwartz, Scheana, and Raquel. Katie goes, oh, perfect. And she's like, no, everyone's invited. So then they start talking about the sandwich shop, and they have hired a business consultant that comes over now to have a meeting with them, and she's sort of prepping them to perfect their pitch to investors. They have already met with Lisa, I guess, a couple weeks ago, which I think is smart. I think the Toms should have done that, but anyway, and Lisa has given them some advice too. And now we see them at Tom Tom meeting with Lisa, and she has some details on that space that she said was available, that's just 5 doors down from Sir. And apparently they had already seen it and they put an offer on it, or I don't know how real estate works in LA. It sounds incredibly complicated and incredibly competitive because this isn't just like, okay, this space opened up and they put an ad somewhere that there's an open space to lease. No, it's like there's other people that want it. They have to write a letter of intent, which they've already done. And I guess they made an offer that's equal to what somebody else offered. And they're just hoping that the owner of the building will just find them a more appealing choice. Lisa's like, oh, I have goosebumps. So she's thrilled about it. So then Lisa asks Katie if she's going to Mexico to Scheana's wedding. And she said, well, I'm not going to Scheana's wedding, but I spent $1,000 on a hotel room that I can't get back. So I am going to Mexico. And the last time I checked, Mexico is a big place. Well, it doesn't matter how big the country is. It better be a big resort because you're all staying at the same place at the same time. So Katie's plan is to bring Christina Kelly with her because it's her birthday week. Ariana goes, so there might be an issue with that. Katie's like, what? She tells them about how the resort is sold out and Jamie, one of the bridesmaids, can't get a room. So there's that whole situation. And Katie in her confessional is like, look, it sucks that the bridesmaid didn't book her room in advance when Scheana bullied all the rest of us to do it, but that's not my problem. All right, it is time for the pool party at Tom and Ariana's house. Everyone's showing up, lots of people there. Brock has a friend that looks like an after picture of Schwartz, if you see them side by side. And apparently, according to Schwartz, that guy is who Raquel was really making out with at Coachella, not Schwartz. Schwartz wasn't even there. Lala is talking to Scheana and she's complaining about Raquel and how the issue is that she called me a mistress. And Scheana's like, look, I get it. I was in the same boat. Yeah, Scheana sleeping with Eddie Cibrian, Brandy Glanville's husband at the time, was that's what started the whole spin-off Vanderpump Rules. James is feeling edged out by the group. He's feeling like since he and Raquel broke up, that the group is kind of picking Raquel. Here's the thing, though. It's interesting. The group is not picking Raquel. The guys are picking Raquel. And poor James is like friends with the guys. So if he could be friends with Katie and Lala, he would see that not everybody is on Team Raquel. He's like, I didn't get invited to the pool party right away. And LA has not been invited to Scheana's wedding. So, yeah, that's weird. I just feel like, wouldn't he have gotten a +1 to the reception? That feels weird. All right, now people are kind of milling around and sort of breaking into 2 camps, I would say. James is now talking to Lala and Katie and making sure that they're not feeling Raquel still. He's like, oh, at the Mondrian, she was talking about how she really told you off. Lala's like, she's a twit. She told everybody she stood up to you, Lala. Meanwhile, Raquel is telling Scheana about how Christina Kelly made fun of her galaxy light. Inside, Ariana is defending Raquel, which, in light of future events, makes me sick. She assumes that Lala, Katie, and Christina Kelly were giving Raquel the mean girl treatment, which, she's not wrong. Ariana's like, would you have made fun of me if I had a galaxy light? And then Lala's like, no, we loved it. What? No, you didn't. Ariana's like, look, I'm not down with the mistress comment, though. And Katie goes, she needs to have her head checked. Ariana, no, that's mean. Sandoval, Katie, if someone doesn't have your exact perspective, they're somehow wrong. Ariana goes, Tom, I'm walking away because I'm not doing a Tom against the girls thing. This is all happening in the kitchen. And so now Raquel walks in and Lala sees her because she's kind of standing behind Katie. And Lala goes, oh, are you going to join this conversation? And Raquel goes, what's the issue? And I don't know if it was Lala or if it was Katie that said, you tell us, Raquel. Lala literally, and she pauses like she can't. And Lala goes, Raquel, put a thought together. I know you can do it. Oh, God, that's ugly. I like Lala too, but that's ugly. Sandoval again. Future cringe alert. Sandoval. Jesus, can you stop? I can't unsee the f***ing bully you were to her. And for no reason. So Lala's like, it wasn't for no reason. She called me a mistress, whatever. So, Raquel finds her words and she's like, Lala, you're a bully. I don't need it. I've learned my lesson with James and I'm finally learning my lesson with you. So since Lala's not winning this conversation now, she's just resorting to things like, okay, you told me this already. You keep saying the same things. I'm so bored. And Raquel goes, you give off mistress bimbo vibes, Lala. Oh my God, is she still talking? Yeah, she is. In her confessional, Raquel, now I just offended you. And then she says something in her confessional the fact that I'm standing up to Lala Kent, I love this new version of me. And then she dabs. I know I'm old. Is dabbing still a thing in 2023? I can't remember the last time I saw somebody do that. Oh, so now Scheana sits down with Katie to talk to her about the resort. And Katie tells her the resort is not booked. Which is so weird because now Scheana just says, I just don't want you there because you're bad energy. You don't like me. You're not coming to my wedding and I just don't want you around. And she's like, why can't you just stay at another resort, Katie? I can't get my money back. And right away, Scheana goes, I will Venmo you $1,000 right now. So do not use that as an excuse. There's silence. And so Scheana goes, okay, well, we'll see about that. And she gets up to leave and Katie's like, what? We'll see about what? She goes out to the yard where Schwartz is and Raquel and she tells them, your ex is so pathetic and stubborn. And Schwartz is like, what did Bubba do? She tells them the whole story. And Schwartz says, oh, well, I have an idea. I'll tell Katie that I'll get back with her if she stays at a different resort. They all kind of laugh. Raquel goes, don't sell your soul. Okay, I'm sorry, didn't Katie ask you for a divorce? Why are you acting like she'll be so grateful that you want to get back with her that she'll stay somewhere else? No, she doesn't want you. That's not going to be an incentive. So Ariana, who's out there too, she goes, what if we just say, name your price? So she just decides to go back into the kitchen and she says to Katie, name your price. What will it take for you to stay somewhere else? And Katie goes, no, we're going. Christina Kelly, who's sitting right next to her, goes, we're not going to be there with binoculars or something. Flash forward 2 weeks to Scheana's wedding. Scheana is like walking through the resort in her wedding dress. The music is playing. And Katie and Christina Kelly are in their hotel robes out on the balcony. And they're like, we have really good seats for this wedding. Oh, God. Oh, the only thing I didn't see was the binoculars. Okay, so Schwartz comes into the kitchen now. And he goes, I have a really good solution, Papa. There's this beautiful resort next door. And Katie goes, no. Tom Schwartz. Oh, come on. Katie, I'm sorry. You're wrong. You're being wrong right now. And she goes, why? Because I want to go on a vacation that I paid for, that I got the room for? Schwartz tells Katie that she's being stubborn and that she's so emotionally entitled. Now, I have never heard that phrase before, but it kind of fits. It's not the worst description of this. Ariana says, yeah, okay, I don't know what those words mean, but you're going to Mexico because I want you there. So anyway, Katie, in her confessional, she's like, Schwartz is on everybody's side but mine. And I thought it was because like he felt this obligation to defend his wife, but I'm not the wife anymore. So I think this is just a Katie thing. You know, she's upset. And so now she's walking out. She's leaving. And Schwartz is chasing after her. Bob, no. Katie, no, come on, Bob, no. And he chases her out, and she's by the front curb. I guess she called an Uber. And he's like, what is wrong? And she said, I want an apology. And he goes, from her? And Katie said, yes, from Scheana for meddling. And he goes, oh, she didn't meddle. Now he's just like bugging her and I don't know, like trying to talk her out of it. You look great. And she's like, Tom, just stop. You're making it worse. And that is where episode 7 ended. Yeah. All right. I got through that faster than I thought. So, you know, it's not going to be a 30-minute video, but it's still going to be longer than my 10-minute goal. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I would also love it if you would consider subscribing to my channel and go ahead and click on that bell icon if you would like a notification every time I post something new. If you're an Amazon shopper, I am an Amazon affiliate, and if you go through one of my links in the description box below, you don't have to purchase the item I linked, but anything you do put in your cart within 24 hours, if you purchase them, I will get a small credit for those items. All right, that's it. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.